Hello, this is Rick Morris. These are a series of videos designed to help people with recovery from addiction. We're on step 15, episode 2, and the name is Doors. I want to tell you a little story about my career and my career path. I graduated from a college in West Texas, and this degree plan was in engineering, and I immediately went into the air conditioning and appliance repair service business. It was a learning experience for sure, but it wasn't fulfilling to me. It was certainly educational, and I worked hard, long hours, 6 days a week, and I learned things about finance, bookkeeping, employees, taxes, advertising, just untold things as a young man right out of college. And finally, I had an opportunity to do some control work, and then that's when I knew that's where my real talent was. Long story short, I worked for years, different companies, different positions. One thing that was very interesting to me is whenever I would try to change jobs and look for a job in the paper or resumes, make resumes, it just didn't seem to go anywhere. But the doors would open when I least expected them. And they always felt right, these doors. And I would step through them, and it would be the next phase of my career. I didn't become a professional engineer until I was 50 years old. And that was my true destiny. It was my purpose, what God had made me for, because I was good at it. It felt good. Well, today we're going to talk about doors. That's the name of our episode. The step states, we see there is more to live for than we thought possible. And the scripture I've selected today is, as for what was sown in good soil, this is the one who hears the word and understands it. He indeed bears fruit and yields, in one case 100-fold, in another 60, and in another 30. That's Matthew 13:23. We've been talking about strongholds in earlier episodes, and we have strongholds in our character that many times we are totally blind to. We can't even see them. We don't know they're there. We also understand that other people can see these strongholds and help us remove them. We understand it takes hard work and sometimes spiritual warfare to drive out foul spirits out of these strongholds. But how does that relate to reaching our purpose and destiny? How do you what is the relationship between strongholds and purpose and destiny? I'm going to pause here and give you a chance to think about it and talk about it if it's a group, and then I'll give you my answer. Everything we've done in our life has molded us into the person we are. Our God-given gifts and talents that we were born with have taken us this far. Addiction was Satan's attempt to derail our career, our marriage, family, and future. He came to steal, kill, and destroy. And he used alcohol and drugs to do it. Had we not got into a program to get free, And had God not protected us many times, we would already be dead. At least I can say that. But since we're clean and sober, it's time to achieve our dreams. Just getting clean and sober is only the beginning. Don't think you're so old that opportunity has passed you by. Even in our 60s, it's not too late to find our purpose and our destiny. Actually, it's never too late. You are right on time. The reason is everyone's path is different. God does it different in different ways. Some people get on the path very early, right out of the gate. Some of us, it took us a while to work our way up to it. We all have gifts and talents that are unique to us. When we work hard and we root out the character defects and strongholds, our gifts and talents begin to open doors for us. As we enter the promised land, we feel God's favor. We've talked a lot about the promised land, so I'm going to try my best today to see how this all fits together. We're talking about people that are bankers, farmers, plumbers, electricians, salesmen, clerks, stockbrokers, cooks, physicians, pastors, landscapers, and on and on and on. Everyone. When we do our job well, we will be given more responsibility. That means we will manage people, get promotions, make business decisions, we get referrals, and we receive approval. Even if we change careers, what we have learned will multiply our progress, since we have removed the character defects and strongholds. We understand how addiction derailed our careers, but how do character defects and strongholds affect our careers and our future? As we interact with executives and vendors, customers, or recruiters, our old character defects don't hold us back like they did in the past. Good decisions and gifts and talents multiply our success. Latent leadership springs forth. Some of us are entrepreneurs and have been fearful to try it, and others can be successful or even more successful as an employee. And let me say something about this right while I'm here. I've had the chance to counsel people who were wanting to go into business. And some of them, I really encouraged them to do it, to give it a shot. Some of them, I could tell, just wanted to be the boss. And they were doing it out of wounds from an old boss, or for the wrong reason. Maybe they thought, once I'm the boss, I can take off whenever I want, and I can get up and go to work whenever I want. What they didn't realize, successful entrepreneurs work harder than employees ever thought about it. They work day and night. Some of them never take vacations. You don't become an entrepreneur to take it easy. So suddenly we have new opportunities with doors opening before us. Old character defects would have slammed the door shut. We'd have said things in meetings or phone calls or interviews that just slam the door shut with our old character defects. Remember from previous episodes, what's in a man's heart comes out of his mouth. Phone calls and meetings suddenly become interesting because we have something important to say, whereas we used to dread them. When God is for us, who can be against us? Also remember, our timetable is not necessarily God's timetable. Most of the time, we think we're ready when God is still working on us. At least that's the way it was with me. He will open doors when we're ready to walk through them. Advancement and prosperity will come suddenly. When you're striving for it, you can't get it. But when God gets ready and He opens the door, no one can shut it. And when God closes the door, no one can open it. Gifts and talents are given from God. We receive them before we were even born. But what are we naturally good at? How do I find out what my purpose is, what I was made for? Do I love to play or sing or play the guitar? Am I a writer? Am I a gifted speaker? I love to work with wood. I enjoy repairing things. Friends bring me small engines because they know I can fix them. I love to hunt and fish. My favorite time is in the garden taking care of plants. I love to serve, and I always wanted to be a nurse. Those thoughts, those feelings, those desires can be in many different forms and pull you in many different directions. But they are deep inside, deep in your heart. And many times we're doing jobs just to feed our family when something else is pulling at us, something else we want to try, something else we wish we would have started out at. Most of the time, it's not wise to drop a career and start a completely different one because you already have obligations, house payment, car payment, family. Very difficult to start at the bottom of the ladder when you're already halfway up a different one. Sometimes that works, but most of the time there's a learning curve. Start however you can. Work a second job to see if it fits. See if it's what you think it is. Talk to people in that trade or business and ask how to get started. Talk to people that have been successful in that trade or that business. Before any action is taken, pray. Ask God to show you where and how to start. Remember this, if God's hand is on it, this endeavor, it will prosper.